Hey, what's up? It's Jim, and I just got back from the new film Jack Reacher, a sniper who kills 5 people, and it looks like it's a pretty open and shut case that he's the one who did it until he asks for Jack Reacher. And when Jack Reacher comes to town, he shows them that it's a bigger conspiracy. The guy who they think is the sniper is really being framed so that this big elaborate scheme can happen. And Jack Reacher's here to kick ass, take names, and find out exactly what is going on with this investigation. And so he finds the lawyer, played by Rosamund Pike, becomes her ally, and she hires him to help find out what's really going on with this sniper. It's kind of a little bit of a genre film. It's an odd mixture because at a lot of times it's like a kick-ass 80s walking tall kind of formula of a movie where it's like, I'm here to kick ass, I'm so intimidating, you're all gonna have to answer to me, Jack Reacher. But at the same time, it's directed a lot more like a 90s action film, so it's a weird kind of mix where it really just feels like a cheap 90s action film. And I'm kind of surprised Tom Cruise is in something like this because he usually does more kind of prestige pictures. This feels a little almost like something that would normally be beneath him. He has enough of a star quality to get him through it, but the actual film feels a little cheaper, like something in 20 years that'll be like half off because no one really remembers it. The plot's very basic and pretty typical for an action investigative kind of movie like this. It is fun seeing Tom Cruise beat the shit out of people and constantly being told his name. I don't know how many times they say Jack Reacher and Jack Reacher. You know, if films have a body count, I'd like to know how many times they say Jack Reacher in this movie because it's a lot. And it really crosses the line into self-parody quite a few times. I'm surprised they didn't really go all out and really realize how silly and ridiculous this movie was. Werner Herzog is the villain, and I love Werner Herzog has such a great voice, and I'm surprised no one else has asked Werner Herzog to play, you know, a stereotypical villain. I almost feel like Werner Herzog does so many different projects that this is kind of almost perfect for him to do kind of a simple, silly genre action film like this and play the villain. Seems like something he would be into. Unfortunately, it's not directed by him, which would be probably a lot more fun. That voice is so distinctive. It's like, I can't believe I'm watching Werner Herzog in the multiplex, though. That's probably the most shocking thing. That's kind of part of the joke, probably for him, is that he's in this big Tom Cruise movie as the villain. And it's probably the best joke in the whole movie. But he's also probably my favorite part of the whole film, is seeing Werner Herzog. Jack Reacher is a silly character, and Tom Cruise plays him just perfectly. He kind of owns the silliness and the ridiculousness, and really plays the type of leading man role you need for a B action genre film like this. Christopher McQuarrie directed this film. He also directed The Way of the Gun. This is only his second film. But the sequence with the sniper I thought was actually pretty well done. But then the film just becomes a B action genre film, and it's all right at it. I don't think it's exceptional. It's nothing to rush out of the theater to, but I definitely had a good time, and I like B-action movies that kind of own their stupidity, and I think this movie does for the most part, a lot better than things like Lockout, but I don't think this is like a good movie. It's not something that I'd probably ever see again. It's pretty forgettable. One time you watch, laugh with the people in the theater at like all the ridiculousness and how many times you can kick people's asses and like kick them in the groins and like take down 5 guys and all this nonsense. The whole plot of it is pretty stupid and mundane and typical genre crap. It's nothing that kind of soars with the material. It's just a little odd to see Tom Cruise do something like this because I think he's more known for prestige pictures with big directors, and this is more like Tom Cruise is the star. This is very much a Tom Cruise B action genre vehicle. He hasn't really done that too much except for the Mission Impossible franchise. I think this is kind of his character Ethan Hunt to an even crazier degree. He can fight his way out of any situation, Jack Reacher. Watch out when Jack Reacher comes to town. He's just a ridiculous, kind of almost sociopathic superhero good guy. It's over the top B genre-ness. Can't really save it and make it kind of even sort of a memorable film experience. This is just kind of forgettable, uninteresting fare, and I kind of expect more from Tom Cruise, to be honest. If Tom Cruise is going to do a genre film, I thought he'd do one that has a little more of a distinction about itself. This just feels so like milquetoast and be in genre actiony, it's just kind of forgettable. If Werner Herzog wasn't in it, I probably wouldn't really remember this movie in a year. But I will remember his name, Jack Reacher, because they say it so many times. So if you have seen Jack Reacher and you would like to talk about it, then comment below in the comments, and subscribe if you would like to. A little bit of movie trivia for you is that this film was shot by Caleb Deschanel, who is Zooey Deschanel's dad. I noticed the last name, so, and it is her dad. Not that well shot though, so probably will never care about that again. Except that it's her dad. I don't even like her.